Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm using a stamp set from Picket Fence called Sip Happens, and I'm using a Simon Says stamp set called Stronger Together in this card. So, okay, I've silenced my cell phone. Of course, it never fails if I leave my cell phone on that it is going to go off, either ring or text or something. Especially these days, everybody I think is just constantly on their phone, posting stuff, sending people stuff because they're just bored out of their minds. But anyway, so I really like this image of this lady sipping wine, but I couldn't decide what to do with her, and so I thought, well, let's just put her in this, I wish I had stamp sets with large grape leaves. I would have put grape leaves so it looked like she was like in a vineyard or something. But that's kind of the feel that I wanted, but I didn't have the correct leaves. But I really like these leaves off of this Stronger Together stamp set. So I decided to go with those leaves and just create this kind of ethereal type background, just to maybe give an illusion that she's in a vineyard sipping wine. Where I'd like to be right now. Yeah, but social distancing, that's not allowed right now, but okay. Anyway, I digress. So a couple of weeks ago, I watched a Jennifer McGuire video about these, I call them kind of peekaboo cards, where, you look through the outside of the card to what's on the inside. And she's made it seem much easier, and maybe I should have went back and rewatched her video before I tried this. I did try one method and no, that totally didn't work. And the one that I did do was, it was challenging. I'll just say that. It was challenging to get everything to line up right. So Jennifer probably did it way better. And I said I should have watched that again before attempting my own. But here we go. So I did use some Gina K masking paper to just cut out a kind of a rough image of the lady. I didn't get overly carried away, with cutting a lot of details out with the masking, because you can always go back in with, a Copic multi-liner and just fill in some of those fine detail lines and things. So I'm really not one for fussy cutting. What was that? Fussy cutting. So I just do kind of a rough cut, and then I just fill in with a Copic multi-liner. So that's my little hack for that. And so if you're not one for doing that detail cutting, you should give that a try. But anyway, so just getting all these little leaves placed around and stamping them with, I think Simon Says Intense Black ink is what I stamped with. And then I will get into the Copic Coloring. So I know that we're all bored as crazy at home, and a lot of us are doing homeschooling. I am very thankful that my son is a senior, and he schools himself. He's so super easy, and he turned in his first assignments today. He got them at the beginning of the week, and they were due at the end of the week, so he's turning in assignments today. We did get notification this week that his national competition that was to take place the weekend of May 8th has been canceled. So that was a huge bummer that he did not get to do that as a senior. And so we're just hoping that school stays on track and his graduation day stays as June 3rd, and that we can all attend graduation. He seems to be taking it all in stride, though. When he came downstairs and told me about the national competition being canceled, he said, all right, well, I'm going to go fishing. There's a pond across the street. So he gets his snake boots on because, all this rain, the weeds have grown so tall, and it's warm, or getting warmer now. I mean, we've had several days in the 80s. And So yeah, snakes are starting to move about. So he has shorts, snake boots on up to his knees, and he goes fishing. And he was probably gone a couple hours. Said he caught about 5 fish. Of course, he just catches and releases, but gives him something to do and gets him outside. Except for he forgot to wear sunscreen, so now he's got the funniest of tan lines from his shorts to his snake boots that are curved in the back, and then on the back of his neck and on his arms. So he's kind of a miserable puppy today with those. So I will show you the colors I use, or I will put them on screen, and they will also be listed over in my blog post. I can't talk today. What is the deal with that? I don't know. So what is everybody else doing to pass the time? So I have been doing a lot of coloring lately, as will be evidenced by some videos that'll come out very quickly because I colored a bunch of things and then I made cards. I wasn't really in the crafty mood with all the, things going on, but coloring is something that's just therapeutic, or is not maybe the right word. It's very calming to me, very soothing. I like to just sit down and color. It's kind of like my happy place. So I colored up a bunch of things, and then after I colored several things, then I was like, okay, I want to make stuff out of them now, and what can I make? And got some ideas, and so then I just started making the cards and things. So I got several videos coming up in a short span of time, so I'll have to go back to coloring so I can do some more. And but so that I've been doing that. Today is I am recording this on Friday. It'll post on Saturday, but it's my laundry day, so just trying to keep with somewhat of a normal schedule and doing my laundry today. And yesterday afternoon, I cleaned the patio, opened it all up and cleaned the patio so we can enjoy sitting on the patio and enjoying the warmer temperatures. We do have a slight chance of rain tonight. I'm hoping it misses us because we have been inundated with rain. I mean, you walk outside in the yard and it goes squish, 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 squish. It's just, we've had so much rain. We're like 4.5 inches above normal. So kind of hoping it misses us. There's like an 80% chance of rain on Monday, so that I'm sure will probably get us. But need things to dry out because I've got pasture land that I need to mow over at the ranch, and so that is something that I can get done during this time if it would just dry out. So I'm hoping that after this rain on Monday that we'll get. It looks like we might have a week of no rain. So if it doesn't rain too hard or too long, maybe it'll go ahead and dry out and I will be able to get that mowing done. It's also been a little strange having everybody here every day. It's kind of like it's like always the weekend. And usually I look forward to Mondays when Layton goes back to school, Greg goes back to work, and it's just me and the puppies here, and I can clean up from the weekend and get things back in order and, get in my own, schedule, rhythm, whatever. But with everybody here all the time underfoot, the kitchen's always a mess. And, Greg's here working out of his office here. And so his phone's ringing constantly, or, he's constantly wanting something, needing something, or making a mess in the kitchen. And so that's been hard to get used to. But today he decided to go out and do some things. One of the barns over at the ranch, we are trying to get it sealed and spray foamed and airtight, so we can air condition it, and so it can house wine until the winery is built, because right now we're air conditioning our garage and which our garage is pretty well sealed and insulated and everything. But that means I can't park in the garage either, because we have about 4 pallets of wine in the garage. The 2 whites that were bottled back in November, and we're about to bottle a whole bunch more stuff in April. I think the weekend, April 24th, I think. We're going to bottle a whole bunch more, so it would be like 12 more pallets coming, and so we need a place to, keep this stuff cool until the winery gets built, which still is not started yet. Though that's really grating on our nerves too. So I am glad that we're moving forward with this barn conversion, and so we can eventually get these pallets of wine out of my garage, and I can go back to parking in it. So, because, we always have a threat of hail here in North Texas when you have storms come through. And I don't like my vehicle sitting outside. I want it inside and protected. So, yeah, I'll be really glad when that's done. So, hopefully, within the next week or so, even with all this mess, construction people are still working. So, we hope to get that all completed and everything. So, that's where we're at on wine storage. But like I said, the building of the winery, it's just not where we want it to be. We had another soil test done. They came out and took the samples last week, so I'm hoping that by the middle of next week that we get that new soil report. We're having a local engineer that's used to dealing in our soil look at it, and hopefully we can get some better recommendations, which will hopefully help on the cost, which were enormous for building. Okay, so let's go back to the card here. Got all the coloring done, and this is a little section where I forgot to turn my camera on. And what I did, I have this stencil. I don't know where I got it. I've had it a long time. And I took just a blending brush and some Distress Oxide Mowed Lawn and put the color down. And then I'm using this Nuvo Moonstone glitter paste and just going over that. And then you'll see on my palette knife that I have a whole bunch of colored glitter paste. So I don't want to waste it either. So I get these 2 circles that I cut out from doing my card, and I'm like, I'm just going to blend this over these circles, and I will use it somewhere else down the line. And I do have a card coming up that I did use one of these circles on. So, and I have one more that I can use in the future for something. And I think it might be a really cute background for a bunny rabbit for an Easter card. So I am going to start on some Easter cards soon. Here it is dry. Saw some pretty shine on that. Here's my little circles dry. They were a lighter green. I really liked that. I like the color of that. And so there you saw me. I cut out the front of the card, and then I cut out the stenciled piece, and I tried cutting those out together, but because of the paste and stuff on there, it was too thick. It didn't want to cut out. So that was my boo-boo, and this is my redo. But anyway, I did leave a few boo-boos in here, but I did not leave all of my boo-boos in here. So now I'm just going to use some masking tape, because I wanted to have an edge here, but I didn't feel that I had, well, one, I didn't want to try and cut another hole in a piece of colored cardstock to give me an edge. So then I just decided to take the mowed lawn again and go around the edge. I just masked it off with Post-it tape and a sheet of copy paper to make sure I didn't get any on the back. And I'm just going to go around the edge and give me some color, and then that will help my stenciled piece really stand off the front here, and you can see that colored edge. Sometimes I like a white edge. This time it just didn't look good. I don't know, just didn't like it. And sorry for the big glare of the light there. I usually try to put something to cover that up, but yeah, no, I forgot this time. But anyway, so just drawing that a little bit with my Heat It tool, because, you know, the Distress Oxide does sit on the top of the paper for a while, and, you know, stays pretty wet. So I wanted to just dry that a little bit so I could glue down my stenciled piece on the top. And I did fiddle with that a little bit to get it, you know, exactly on there where I needed it to be. But I did finally get it in place. And then we'll move on to putting together the inside of the card. So there again, I just really didn't like the, you know, the plainness of putting that panel on the front, on the inside. So I decided to use this piece of cardstock, some sort of color from Simon Says Stamp, and just do just a very little edge. I mean, it's probably like a 16th all around on that panel, but you know, it was just enough that just to give it some little something on the inside, and I really like, you know, what it added to the inside. So then I took a couple of sentiments off that Sip Happens stamp set, and here where I'm trying to put it in the middle, I realized that a Misty just really doesn't do a 5x7 full card like this. You just really can't fold over it. So I give up there and I get my stamp platform out. And now here, yes, much easier to do the inside of a card like this. You can do a 5x7 single piece, you know, in a Misty, but not the full card like this. It just doesn't work real well. Anyway, so I got, and I just stamped with that MOWED Lawn again, Distress Oxide. You can stamp with that. It stamps very solidly, and especially if you stamp it a couple of times. That's why it's good to use a stamp positioner. So I'm just going to use the Sip Happens on this little strip of paper to put on the outside, and I'm going to use one of the Simon Says Stamps nested banner dies to cut that out. And couldn't figure out at first which one I wanted to use, so I went through all the big ones, and then I looked at them on the thing, and I decided to like the fishtail end one best. So this has been a long video, so if you've stuck around to the very end, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching, and I also appreciate everybody that comments and thumbs ups my videos and shares, and, you know, clicks through to my blog post and clicks through to my affiliate links if you're interested in any of these products that are in this project. I appreciate you using my affiliate links. It just helps me bring in a little bit of money so that I can bring you more products in the future. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the Nuvo drops, and I said I will have everything listed down below, but this is apple green, and then I will also use the snowfall. No. I'm just using the apple green on this and the glossy accents on the glass. And whenever I use my Nuvo drops, I like to bang them so they will flatten out a little bit, look more like an enamel dot than just like a round dot. So that's where you see me banging, and there I got my hand in that one. So I had to repair that a little bit. But anyway, here's some final looks. Again, thank you so much for watching, and everybody, please stay safe and wash your hands.